Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Mindfulness Moments. Thank you all for your likes and comments from last week's post. Very encouraging for me to know that you are practicing. We have this community to talk about these things. So I've chosen a card today, very interesting one. Ideas of happiness. If there are things that are causing you to suffer, you have to know how to let go of them. Happiness can be attained by letting go, including letting go of your ideas about happiness. You imagine that certain conditions are necessary to your happiness, but deep looking will reveal to you that those notions are the very things standing in the way of happiness and making you suffer. Yes. Buddhism often gets criticized for using the word suffering. I don't know a better word. Pain, anxiety, fear. Letting go of the concept that something is going to make you happy will set you free. A lot of us feel that there are certain conditions in life that if this just happens, I'm going to be able to have this. If this just happens, then I'm going to be able to have that. Constantly living outside of the present moment. And then when they focus on all those external factors, something does go wrong, there's no need to take responsibility. Of course, you and I know that through taking responsibility, through taking accountability, through our deep looking, we know that that's a path to freedom. Letting go of these ideas is very simple when spoken, but to practice it is not so simple, especially if we have several decades under our belt of thinking in this way, of clinging, of holding on, of identifying with. But we can do it. Buddha assures us of that. So this card encourages us to look deeply at the roots of suffering, to recognize that our clinging of an idea of something else, think of that, an idea of something else, an idea, that's all it is. It's not a reality. It's not a reality until it comes into the moment. So if we can let go of these thoughts, let go of these expectations, remain true to the practice, remain true to our integrity, we can free ourselves. We can free ourselves from the traps, prisons, trying to control the outside world, worrying about what tomorrow is going to be, worrying about all these other things. It's only bringing stress onto our physical and emotional well-being. A lot of us sometimes are aware of our emotional side. We know that, oh, I'm a little depressed or I'm not completely on it today. But are we aware of what these clingings, these attachments, these worries are doing to our physical body? There's a very good book called The Body Keeps the Score about how the body holds on to trauma. We have this crazy ability to rationalize for whatever we want to be true. We want to believe that we are a bad person, deserve to suffer. We're going to find the reasons. If we want to believe we're a positive person and we deserve happiness and we deserve friends, then we're going to find the reasons that support that. And this goes back to last week's talk about watering the seeds. Which seed are you going to water? Which wolf are you going to feed? Can we let go of these thoughts, of these clingings? So we need to recognize when they come up. We have this habit. Like I said, some of us have been caught in this circle, this web, for so many decades. To turn around and do it tomorrow is going to be difficult. But it's just like exercise for the brain. You can't go to the gym today, go full out, expect to go back to the gym tomorrow or the next day. You're going to be too sore. You're going to be too sore physically, and you may emotionally beat yourself up because you're not in as good a shape as you thought you were. So this is what we have to be careful of. When we begin to recognize those old habits coming up, just see them as weeds and pull those weeds, put them in the soil, let them nourish the soil, and help bloom the beautiful flower that you are, that your neighbor is. Water their seeds. Try not to cling to your expectation of what they should be. This is another idea that puts us into suffering. It's another way that we try to control the outside world rather than working on ourselves, rather than being in the moment, following our breath, recognizing these two wolves, these two seeds. Which one am I going to feed? Which one am I going to water? Our neighbors have them too. But it's not our job to try to change them, to fit our mold so that we then feel that we will be happy. That's just a game. That's just a game that we're playing so that we can then blame them for our own suffering that we are causing ourselves by clinging to an idea, something else. So there's a lesson in A Course of Miracles that says, I can choose peace over this. So I offer that to you this week as a mantra. Anytime you find yourself caught in this web, in this circle of suffering, if you can remind yourself to ask or say, I can choose suffering. I can choose peace over this. I don't have to choose suffering. Habit energy wants to choose suffering, but I can choose peace. As I say that, I'm reminded Thich Nhat Hanh, whose card I read today. He's got two beautiful books. One is Peace is Every Step. The other is Being Peace. So let's choose peace this week. As always, thank you. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for your likes, comments, shares. See you next week.